Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're going to be replacing the struts or shock absorbers on a '09 Chevy Silverado. I may have picked the wrong day because my neighbor, of course, mowing his lawn. So I hope you can hear me okay. Alright, so it's a very simple step, guys. You don't have to be intimidated by it. It's really seriously only take off this bolt, which comes off. It's got a nut right here. This is the bottom side. Then you go up to the top, and on the top side you remove that bolt right there. The nut on the back side is welded to this frame here. It's really that simple. When the shocks come, I'll explain that in a minute, but they're stretched out right now because of the way I got the car jacked up. I was gonna try to videotape this while I was doing it, but unfortunately I was unable to. Same thing on the other side. There's the nut and bolt on that side, and then on the top, this one kind of goes towards the front side of the vehicle. This shock absorber, for some reason, this one goes towards the back of the vehicle. So they're kind of like Y-shaped, if you could say. One of them's pointed towards the back, the other one's kind of like towards the front of the bed. So let's get to the hardest part, which is jacking the vehicle up. The way I jacked the vehicle up was I went to the frame right there. As you can see, I jacked up the frame of the vehicle itself, which what that does, it will expand the shock absorber, meaning it's going to stretch it all the way out. And that way it doesn't have any tension on it when I go to take it off. The bolts up there were probably about 80 pounds of pressure is what I think is recommended. They weren't even that tight. I didn't even need a bar or anything. I didn't even have to spray any WD-40 or anything on the bolts. So let me explain to you guys what I found was going to be the hardest part. Alright, so the new shock absorber, it comes compressed with a band around it like this, one of these plastic bands that you put around stuff to hold it tight. So it comes with a band like this, compressed all the way in. So what I did was I left the band on there when I put that top bolt on there, and then once I had that bolt all the way inside up there on the top, and I had the shock absorber hanging, then I took and I cut the band off, and as the shock absorber expanded, which it expanded very, very slowly, as it came across, I lined it up with the bottom hole. And as it came across here, I mean, literally, it was coming down very, very slow. And as it came through there, I threw the bolt right through the middle of it, and it went right through. So it was pretty easy, because when it was compressed, it probably was right here, and then it just came and expanded all the way down from about right there to about here. And by the time it come through here, I already had it lined up. The hole was lined up, and as soon as it lined up and it came through, I shoved the bolt right through it, and it worked out perfect. I did that on the second one. I didn't think about doing that on this first one. So on the first one, what I had to do was take another jack and put it right here, because this actually expanded past the harness, or the whatever you want to call this. It was down here, so I had to compress it back all the way back up to here until I could line it up with the hole and then put the bolt through it. That was the hardest part of this whole project. I'm almost done now. You know, I've actually been messing around because I saw a little bit of rust down underneath my truck, so I started, you know, scraping and spray painting. That's basically about it, folks. It's not a hard job. It's easy to do. You need a couple jacks, 21mm wrench, and 21mm socket. That's about it. Have fun. Feel free to comment, share, have fun.